Hello there everybody, you are the audience, my name is Supersonic Blur, and welcome back to the next episode of Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Last time, we reached more towards the conclusion of what happened to Master Belduke. Not only that, but if Master Belduke's death was caused by Grail, well then, so too must this incident have been occurred by Jean Grail. Now, we are trying to just understand why. Why did you do what you did? We already know that you were pretty much given a completely new lease on life by Master Belduke, but what happened? What changed, Jean? Even I am not quite sure what led to this. However, it all started 3 months ago with that lightning strike. Master Belduke and I were on our way back home, carrying specimens for experiments. An old bell tower appeared in the flames. Everyone saw it and was stupefied. But the expression on Master Belduke's face was unlike anything I'd seen before. What do you mean? His face went pale and twisted in sheer terror. He was shaking violently. It wasn't just astonishment at an unusual phenomenon. It seems like if he was afraid of something more concrete. Perhaps Sir Belduke saw something that others could not. He cancelled his experiments for that night and began writing a letter to someone. A letter? I found out about it when I brought him his bottle of tomato juice. He was writing feverishly, as if he were possessed. I saw some things. A few words in that letter. Expose everything. Cannot keep this secret any longer. The truth about the witch. Master Belduke was going to confess that I was a witch. Everything went black in front of my eyes. I will never forget that feeling that overwhelmed me at that moment. Is that when you decided to commit the crime? What I did first was accidentally singe a part of my wall in my room. It was an excuse to repaint that section of the wall green. Then you also painted the wall behind that painting in Sir Belduke's study. And when that fateful night came, I used a syringe to inject a soporic through the cork and into the bottle of tomato juice. So many thoughts were running through my head as I wished Master Belduke a good night. I opened the portal behind him. He was right there in front of me, asleep. I reached for the letter in the letterbox, taking care not to wake him. And then I happened to notice the name on the envelope. Storyteller. When I read that name, the world all around me turned black once more. It's impossible to avoid what is written by the storyteller. It seemed as if I could hear the doors, all escape routes shutting closed. It was the sound of despair. I would like you to believe me that the thought of taking Master Belduke's life never once occurred to me. I only planned to steal that letter and then disappear. But as I looked upon Master sleeping there in front of me, at that moment, I felt an evil presence awaken within me. Why did he save my life? And why did he betray me? Before I realized what I was doing, my hands were clutching his neck. He didn't move at all, so I kept on clenching his neck. That's it. That's the truth about what happened 3 months ago. God damn, I love this case. This is a fucking good case. There is just one thing I fail to understand. Yes? You said you wanted to run away once you'd stolen the letter. Yet despite that, you continue to live in Sir Belduke's residence. And now, here you stand. Why did you not run away? My life had been thrown into disarray due to the absurdity of magic. I had learned all about alchemy, living at Master's residence. Alchemy is concerned with the logic that governs the world. I wanted to believe that there truly was such a thing. So I stayed in that place, hoping to one day see the irrational nature of magic overcome by the power of reason. Magic being overcome by reason? That night, I swapped the letter with blank sheets of parchment and waited for the sun to rise. I resolved to wait for the day when my true identity could be exposed through reason and logic. Master's death remained a mystery for 3 months and people started to lose interest. And then you appeared, Mr. Wright. On the day you visited the residence, I was listening to your conversation from the other room. Has the time finally come for me? My heart was racing with anticipation, and then, a few minutes after everyone entered that room, an unbelievable incident took place. That incident? A witch appeared in Master's study. What? I wanted to get a look at the witch, so I created a portal in the wall behind the painting. Precisely at that moment. Goldor! The witch used one of the very spells that I can use too. When I heard those words, a single thought flashed through my mind. This was my chance. I could dispose of my witch's scepter. I knew at the time what kind of witch the Inquisitor would be looking for. A witch that can use Formalia and Goldor. It occurred to me that I only needed to change one of my magic gems. I had previously found out that the Formalia gem was purple. I realized that if I swapped the Goldor magic gem for my amethyst, I could pin the blame for my crime on that other witch. So you changed one of the gems and threw the witch's scepter into that room, is that correct? Exactly. Wait a minute, Jean Greyo. This statement of yours is highly problematic. How so, Inquisitor Barnum? I see, here's the thing. They were hoping that that was the same witch who did the thing. It's not actually the case. Yes, you are right. Can't someone explain to me what this is about? I am a witch indeed. A sinful creature that killed the person to whom she owed her life. However, regarding the gentleman standing next to you, Mr. Wright, he may have fallen victim to a witch, but that witch was not me. Oh. Wait, what? Order in the court! What is the meaning of this? Jean Greyo admits killing Sir Belduke, but not to turning Sir Layton into gold. That is the gist of it, my lord. But lying about it is meaningless. Lying? Just being a witch is a crime in itself, and the punishment for that crime is the same regardless of whether she took one's life or two. That's why there's no point in lying about it. I'm sure that's what the judge is thinking. Grail is still claiming that she never laid a finger on the professor. But if there's no point in lying, then does that mean she's telling the truth? So in that case, who's responsible for what happened to the professor? If it wasn't her, then who was it? Yeah. Mind if I say something? Take a hint, witness. Does it feel like this is the right moment for you to talk? This is a dramatic pause. Yeah, well, that's kind of why I was staying quiet until now. But, I'll either say it now or never. I don't simply fall silent after saying that. It only makes it weigh on my mind more. Whatever did you want to say? Oi, Bluey. Yes? I need to make sure about something. My head's not what it used to be, you know. Yes? The alchemist butler, Lady Butler, she slipped sleep medicine into his drink, right? That's correct. She laced his tomato juice with it. And then she strangled the alchemist afterwards. Yes, Sir Bilduke was unconscious from the sleep medicine, so he didn't resist. And that explains why we found no signs of a struggle at the crime scene. Yeah, about that. I let it slip earlier about what I did at the crime scene, right? Well, I told you that, I had a few sips of that juice. And the sleep medicine mixed in made you sleep like a log. Yes, we remember. Yeah, well, here's the thing. It's just between us, okay? You see, when I, appropriated that juice, the juice bottle was, it was still unopened. It was unopened? My throat was parched and I wasn't thinking straight, but that brand new bottle was just sitting there, waiting for me, with a corkscrew conveniently laid next to it. I couldn't just let that go to waste, so I swiftly pulled out that cork and got to drinking. What? So, in case you don't get what I'm getting at, the alchemist, he didn't have a single drop of the juice with the sleep medicine. Huh? What? Yeah, now things get interesting, and Emir is actually useful. I love this case. Witness, you went to the trouble of opening a bottle found at a crime scene just to drink its suspicious contents? Well, that's what I've been telling you. Always dying at first. That doesn't justify what you've done. Now this case gets very difficult. The Inquisition shall deal with this witness after the trial. He will find out what it means to be dying of thirst, in a more literal meaning. However, let us not waste any more time with him now. The witch has confessed to her crimes. There is no need to investigate Sir Bilduke's death any further. Oh no. Indeed, you are right, Inquisitor. Her role in the Sir Layton incident is not entirely clear, but a person who kills a protector to whom she owes her very life can be nothing other than a witch. The court has sufficient grounds to sentence her as such. No. Bilduke didn't drink the juice that night. And if that's true, then there's one thing here that just doesn't add up. Mr. Wright, I have to say there's something about this that's bothering me. I'm sure there's a contradiction lurking in that man's testimony. You think so, Luke? Can I really turn a blind eye to that? No, you cannot. Mister, you're saying you opened the tomato juice bottle. But that claim contradicts a certain piece of evidence. What? Defense, I would like a word with you. Yes, Your Honor. At this point, your client's innocence has already been established. Therefore, whether there is a contradiction in this man's testimony or not should no longer be of any concern to you. That's not how this works. That may be so, Your Honor, but even though I'm here to defend the accused, The true duty of any attorney is to uncover the truth behind what happened. My job's not done until there are no more contradictions left. Very well. Sir Blue Knight, let us hear about this contradiction you have discovered. The bottle was first opened by that guy, meaning Belduke didn't drink any of it. That means there's one piece of evidence that should be very difficult to explain. I would like to hear about this contradiction too. The defense shall present evidence. Where is the contradiction in this witness having been the one to open the tomato juice bottle? Well, let's have a look at the crime scene sketches here. What we can see if we take a look at this one, right here. This here is believed to have been tomato juice, hence why everyone jumped to the conclusion. They opened the bottle, drank the tomato juice, which had the sleep medicine in it. In the process of having the sleep medicine, they didn't swallow it all, and some trickled down. The problem is a couple of things. One, if they didn't open it, they couldn't have drunk it. And if they couldn't have drunk it, that cannot be tomato juice. But if it's not tomato juice, what is it? The contradiction can be seen in one of the sketches of the crime scene. In one of the sketches, please take a look at Sir Belduke's mouth. We can see a line of red liquid trickling down from his mouth. Yes, well, we have already established that it was the tomato juice. Oh! Exactly, Your Honor. Sir Belduke didn't drink any of the tomato juice that night. At first... Which means there's only one other possibility. That red line is, as we first thought of all, blood. Sir Belduke must have tried to fight back from the assailant and bit his tongue in doing so. Objection. But that didn't happen. Unfortunately, that would only bring us back to the problem we encountered earlier. If the victim had put up a fight, then there should have been traces of a struggle at the crime scene, and yet no such traces were found. We even have testimony that they didn't fight. That's what made you assume that the witch must have used Formalia. Yes, that is so. As I explained before, Master Belduke didn't struggle at all at the time. But when I think about it now, in light of the new information, it was very unusual and unnatural. The victim didn't drink the sophoric, yet didn't struggle? But what does this mean? If it's not tomato juice nor blood brought about through the struggle with the murderer, then what else could it be? Since it's not tomato juice, we have to assume it's blood after all. Yeah, right, it's gotta be that. We have ruled out the possibility that the victim bit his tongue while struggling with the attacker. Indeed. Then there's got to be a different reason for that blood being there. Must have suffered internal bleeding that was somehow connected to his death. But what could have caused it? Your Honor, if I may ask one question. A question? To whom? If I just clarify this one suspicion, I may be able to explain the blood shown in this sketch. That's why I need to question one person in particular. Mister, can I ask you something? Have you been paying attention? Nothing in this case has been done without a point. Yeah, well, don't go giving me that scary look, Bluey. I know nothing at all. I've got nothing to tell. Emir's as innocent as a little lamb, but his confidence more than a sham. But is his confidence more than a sham? He'd better be off without. He'd be better off without that bard. You drank the tomato juice that was at the crime scene, right? Don't keep asking me about that over and over again. So what if I did? Then I have one other question for you. Did anything else disappear from the crime scene that day? I didn't notice anything. Witness! Just what have you done this time? You look like a dog caught making a mess on the carpet. Why are you looking at me like that? I don't know anything about going missing. I'm innocent. Please believe me. Truth could drown in his swimming eyes. Some tell lies well, others cannot tell lies. Looks like my gut feeling was right. He took something from the crime scene. Something that could be directly connected to that red liquid around Belduke's mouth. What on earth did that man steal from the crime scene? Well, a certain item disappeared from the crime scene that day, and that at this very moment, it's highly likely that that item is right in front of our very eyes. What? It's here? Isn't that right, mister? Is it? I've no idea. Defender, I order you to show us what this item is. The item that this witness took from the crime scene. Yeah, it's right here. It's been present, and some may have wondered whether or not Emir just bought this bottle when he included his wealth. But it doesn't quite fit the theme. Everything else is golden and bejeweled, but this is not. This is a darker colour, and no jewels in sight. It doesn't match the cup at all, but he's decided to use it anyway. I wonder why. It's this bottle. A bottle? Miss Grail, I'd like you to clarify something for me. What would that be, Mr. Wright? Sir Belduke was working on creating certain medicines. He had various dangerous substances in his possession as well. How were they stored? Master kept them in a locked medicine cabinet. The bottles were labelled so that it was clear that they were dangerous. They have all already been confiscated. As for those labels, did they resemble the label on that guy's bottle? Mister! What are you doing with the product of Master's research? It's not what you think. I didn't have any evil intentions or nothing. That bottle belonged to Master, and it was used to store strong poison. Poison strong enough to kill. Poison? What? The red liquid trickling down from Sir Belduke's mouth was definitely blood. Now, as for what caused him to bleed like that from his mouth, it was the deadly poison from the bottle that this guy stole from the crime scene. This is outrageous. What? Yeah. But, here's the thing. Order! Whoa. Did you expect me to just keep quiet? It was poison. Poison? Am I gonna die? Objection. Just wait and see. Time will tell. Yeah, I guess. More importantly, I want to know, why do you have that bottle? Huh? Well, that's, remember how I told you I drank the alchemist's tomato juice? Indeed, it's not something easy to forget, especially having heard it several times. Well, it was there when I saw it on the floor. Well, this bottle right here. It was totally empty, and I thought, it's such a fancy-looking bottle and all. I'm a bit of a skull fancier. They have this air of danger about them, right? They certainly do. Well, since it was there, I was there, and I was there too. I felt like it was kind of meant for each other. I thought, this bottle's so classy I could die for it. Had any poison been left in that bottle, you would have died instantly. But if it was empty, it is probably harmless. Oh, you hear that? I'm gonna live! Good thing I rinsed it well before use, innit? But if the victim was killed by poison, that raises a new question, of course. Who could have poisoned him? Considering all the evidence and the testimonies we've heard today, the answer is so close I can taste it. Sir Belduke was poisoned by himself. It was, of course, Sir Belduke himself. Sir Belduke himself? Sir Belduke took that poison of his own will. His death was suicide! That's right. Objection! That is preposterous. Suicide? Inconceivable. Objection! Think about it, Inquisitor. That would explain the most unnatural aspect of his death. The most unnatural aspect? Miss Grail, when you were strangling Sir Belduke, he put up no fight whatsoever, is that correct? Yes, it is. Until today, I was convinced it was due to the sleep medicine. It wasn't, because he didn't take any. The truth is, when you gripped his throat, Sir Belduke was already dead. He had poisoned himself. But would the poison have caused him to bleed from his mouth? I personally know of no poison that works instantly and causes such symptoms. Oh, you don't? I can't just tell them that it happens on TV all the time. There are certainly plants in this area that contain a highly poisonous substance. In the course of his research, Master Belduke found a way to extract that poison. What am I hearing? Is there really such a dangerous plant in Labyrinthia? The poison is very bitter to taste, so it would be impossible to secretly slip it into someone's food or drink. And it would cause internal damage. It is a very powerful poison. Drinking it would induce a most painful death. And I think Sir Belduke could... But did Sir Belduke really choose such an agonizing death for himself? It doesn't seem like he suffered that much. I would like to know that too. Miss Grail, you mean to say Master killed himself after exposing me as a witch? I cannot believe it. He just wouldn't commit suicide. Indeed, we cannot take such a theory at face value. Had he committed suicide, I dare say he would have left a suicide note. Wait a minute. I can't say why Sir Belduke committed suicide, but I think there is a piece of evidence that can confirm his suicide was a possibility. There is a piece of evidence like that? If you have such evidence, you ought to present it to the court immediately. Present the evidence indicating that Sir Belduke's death could have been a suicide. That blank letter, writing feverishly, constantly. That's Sir Belduke's letter. Let's see, it was addressed to the storyteller, wasn't it? This is the last letter written by Sir Belduke. Now, if his death was a suicide, then this letter may well be his suicide note. Objection. What we have here is nothing more than blank sheets of parchment. Whether or not there was a suicide note is something we can only speculate about. That's right. But there is one person who knows whether this letter was really a suicide note. You mean the person who swapped its contents? In other words, you, Jean Grail. Witness, you stole Sir Belduke's letter on the night of the crime. Tell us, what was written in it? I don't know. What? You don't know? I did steal the letter, yes, but I don't know what its contents were. You mean you have not read it? I couldn't bring myself to read it. It seemed that if I did, everything that had happened since Master Belduke saved my life would be ruined in an instant. I've taken it out and held it in my hands many times, but no matter what, I just couldn't. Miss Grayle, can you tell us where that letter is now? I have it here. Oh? You're carrying it around with you? If you were searched, you would have been done for. That night, having killed Master Belduke, I decided to stay in his residence. I knew my identity would be revealed sooner or later, and I was ready for it. So, until that time, I decided to always keep the letter with me. My lord? Yes, witness? If you don't mind, could you please read it aloud? Now that I'm here in this place of judgment, I think I'm finally ready to hear what Master wrote. Hold
it!
No.
Miss Grayle, I think you should be the one to read it.
Me?
Sir Belduke wrote this letter to the storyteller as he was preparing to die. I think it's only right his last words should be read by you.
This is harsh. Yes,
you're right. I see. I understand. Please allow me to read the letter aloud. My dear friend, I hope you will be able to forgive me for leaving this world of my own will. I have finally made this decision, having seen that accursed bird.
I love the fade in.
On that dreadful night,
I love the fade in.
that lightning was a sign that we have angered the gods. What I have done cannot be forgiven. I can never escape from it. For the past few days, I have been thinking that it might be best to simply expose everything. This town's secret, the truth about the witch. Of course, I understand that secrets need to be kept.
But what secrets and why?
I've grown very tired. I'm afraid I cannot keep the secret any longer. I have only two concerns. The first is my daughter. It pains me to be leaving her alone in this world, although she probably doesn't think of me as her father.
A daughter?
Yep, a daughter. Interesting.
I was not aware that Sir Belduke had a daughter.
Mr. Belduke seemed to know a lot about this town. This town's secret, and the truth about the witch.
Truth about the witch? Somehow I don't think he was talking about Miss Grayle.
Yeah. This hurts, this next part.
The second matter, weighing heavily on my mind, is that Jean will be left on her own.
Holy shit, that hurts.
Seeing her growing up, so strong and righteous, in defiance of her fate, had given me hope. A short while ago, she brought me my usual, and what will be my last, drink. There are so many things I wanted to tell her.
This is just a fucking
Thank you.
gut punch. Such a fucking gut punch. This case does it so well.
She is a very sharp child. Had I said any more, she would have caught on. You could call me a selfish man, but I didn't wish my last memory of her to be a sad one.
Oh.
Master Belduke. If the fate handed to her by this town has made her life an ordeal until now, I hope from the bottom of my heart that a wonderful story awaits her next. I intend to leave my residence there, and I would
Holy
like you to
shit.
look out for her.
This hurts.
Alas, it is time for me to put my pen down.
I actually tear up when watching this. Holy shit.
What I truly wish to express to you is too complicated for words. I hope one day you will understand. But for now, I bid you farewell. The time has come for me to go.
God damn, that's a strong fucking scene. And it's read by Jean Grey as well. That hurts. No one has words for it.
This letter... It wasn't a denunciation of me being a witch.
Master Belduke cared about you until the very end.
Yep.
Yes, how could I have forgotten? I'm sure I knew it all along.
Everything they did.
How could I have done that to him?
You didn't do anything to him. You didn't do anything. Miss Grayle. She was scared. Scared, and ultimately, all she did was steal a letter. My lord, what is it, Inquisitor Barnum? I think it is about time. For the guilty verdict. Guilty? The Inquisition withdraws the charges against Maya Fey and charges Jean Grayle with being a witch. All the evidence corroborates this accusation, and she even admits her guilt. Hence, the Inquisition asks that the witch be found guilty and punished immediately.
Objection!
Not so fast, Inquisitor Barnum. What do you want now, Sir Blue Knight? Admittedly, Miss Grayle did attempt to strangle Sir Belduke, but he had already consumed a deadly poison and was already dead at the time. Therefore, she is not guilty of murder. She is not. And one more thing. It also wasn't Miss Grayle who turned the professor into gold. There was another witch present at the crime scene. The defendant Maya saw her too. To put it simply, Miss Grayle didn't kill anyone. Yeah, she didn't kill anyone! And yet, you still want to burn her? Maya, do you even know how it feels to be put in this cage? It's like everyone's against you, and it's super frightening. I am not a witch, but I've been thrown into this cage and almost sentenced for something I didn't do. And now you're about to do the same thing to another person? That's just not right. Is that all you have to say? Huh? The one who's in the wrong is not me, but you, Sir Blue Knight. Whether the witch committed a crime or not is completely irrelevant. This is the witch's court. All witches must be punished by fire. But that's crazy! Why, Barnum? Inquisitor Barnum is absolutely right. Being a witch is a crime. You understand that, don't you, Miss Grayle? Yes. Very well, then. The court is ready to issue the final verdict. Maya Fey is found innocent, and in her place, Jean Grayle is found guilty of being a witch and shall be cast into the fire.
No, you can't!
Now you get to see the double edge of this court.
Hold it! Please, hold the verdict!
I've already given the verdict. You can't hold the verdict when it's been given.
What is it now, Espella Cantabella?
There is nothing else we can do. This is the course of things, and you should know it well.
Indeed, all witches shall be cast into the flames. That is the law of this town. A law that was written by your very own father.
That doesn't mean it was right.
A law that has always been obeyed in the town of Labyrinth.
That doesn't mean it always should.
A town like this should never exist in the first place.
Yes!
What such insolence?
That's heresy. She's criticizing the storyteller's story.
That's irrelevant.
Even the storyteller's daughter has no right to criticize the story.
Why?
Trials in which innocent people are sentenced to death by fire. I shall make sure this is the last one.
What do you mean, Isabella?
Since you're also keen on the rules created by the storyteller, you should know exactly what I mean.
But no, I don't know.
For ending the witch trials. Once the Great Witch Bazella is burned, the witch trials will end. At present, I am under suspicion. You know very well why that is, don't you?
You? Well, you don't mean that you're,
I am guilty. I am the Great Witch Bazella.
What?
Now, cast me into the flames and let Miss Grayle free. Miss Cantabella. This shall be the last.
I don't have words for this. It's just so good. Like, seriously, I've been sat here watching this engaging, because I'm like, I get so drawn into this. It's so good.
What are you saying?
It's such a... I love this case. This is without a doubt, like, top 3 cases of any Phoenix Wright game. This is up there. It's so good. I love it.
Mr. Wright,
Absolutely.
as I wish. I'm sorry, but this
Because it gut punches so well. It's got intensity. The story is so well written in this.
There must be another way. You don't need to do this. It's all right, Luke, Maya, Mr. Wright, and Mr. Layton. I truly appreciate all you have done for me.
This can't be happening.
Miss Cantabella. Your confession will have very serious, or rather, fatal consequences for you.
Yes, it will. But look, she's doing it
We
to save
assume
everyone
you
else.
fully understand those consequences and are willing to accept them.
I am Isabella Cantabella, the storyteller's daughter. But I also have another name. I am the Great Witch Bazella. I have lived hidden in the dark pages of my father's story, deceiving all of you. Many lives have been sacrificed because of me. But that shall end today.
Court attendants, seize that woman. She is the Great Witch Bazella.
That's a really hard one to do, though. So instead, she's taking her place. She's not letting her.
Isabella.
She's just claiming it. She doesn't actually believe it, but as long as they'll take that confession, they'll accept it. Alright. Well, don't do anything stupid now. Well, there's that stupid. It's a pretty damn good leap, though.
Isabella, this just isn't right. Let's go. Nick, give me a hand.
I love the fact that he's doing.
Jump over there.
This is a really bad idea, Maya. You're literally in the middle of a place with 1,000 bloody knights. Also just getting completely dog tackled. Also, oh shit, wait a minute.
Help me, Nick.
Isabella manages to make it down.
Quick, in here.
They literally know that that's not Maya, so they just stop. Get her out of the cage. Get her out of the cage. Get her out of the cage. Get her. Oh shit.
Stop! You've got to stop!
Yep. This case really fucking ends on a hard hit there. Holy shit. To be continued indeed. Because that's where we're going to end off this episode. I could not have asked for a better ending. Well, okay, a better end point, I should say. Not a better ending. A better end time to the trial. Because holy shit. Yeah. Maya done gone did it died. Yeah. That's a thing that happened. So, yeah. I think we're gonna need maybe a bit of time to process that. So, we're gonna go ahead and end off this episode here. If you have enjoyed it, then do be sure to like, comment, subscribe for more, and to share this stuff so other people know that it exists. My name has been Supersonic Blur. You guys have been a fantastic audience, and I shall see you all next time.